On 7 News at noon, we are tracking Hurricane Laura as the powerful storm churns through the Gulf states.
The latest on the damage left behind and where the storm is headed next.
Live and local, 7 News starts now with breaking news.
Again, 7 News at noon with breaking news as Hurricane Laura continues to move through the Gulf states, leaving a path of damage behind.
Indeed. Now, Laura is now a Category 1 hurricane after making landfall as a Category 4 storm. We head back to Storm Team 7 meteorologist Malachi Rogers for the latest on Laura's path.
Yeah, a very impressive storm before making landfall. We were watching it as it grew over the Gulf of Mexico, and this is the time lapse of it making landfall right around 2 a.m. our time, 1 a.m. local time in southern Louisiana. Lake Charles, you see there, Cameron, Louisiana. This is the area that it struck, and you can see that very well-defined eye as it moves onshore. Those wide bands, those are strong winds that are up to as high as 150 miles an hour. It was a Category 4 storm. Again, a very strong storm, devastating, and we are expecting to see a lot of damage from the system. Right now, the storm is weakened somewhat as it's still a Category 1 hurricane. It's in the northern parts of Louisiana, and it's weaker because it's been over land for about 10 hours. Category 1 storm still tracking to the north, working its way into Arkansas through the rest of the day today, and then taking that turn to the east. This is where we come into play as that storm will enhance our rain chances late in the day on Friday. Look at this. By Friday evening, with the storm still back in Kentucky or Tennessee, we're looking at showers ahead of that pushing through. We'll also see some more storms throughout the day on Saturday, mid-morning through early afternoon in the mountains and in the upstate. And some of those storms could briefly be strong to severe. So the very latest on Laura, a Category 4 storm, made landfall with 150-mile-an-hour winds in Cameron, Louisiana. Impacts for us will come in on Friday evening and Saturday. Strong gusty winds are going to be the most likely thing, 30 to 40-mile-an-hour winds in some parts of western North Carolina. But we can't rule out brief, strong to severe storms and a few isolated tornadoes. We're going to take a more detailed look at where those winds are going to be highest and how much rain we expect to see from the system by Friday coming up in our 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Malachi. As you heard, the hurricane arrived overnight as a Category 4 in Louisiana, and the storm has now weakened over land, but is still threatening thousands of people with winds and torrential rain. Courtney Zubowski has the latest from Galveston, Texas.
Hurricane Laura ripped buildings to shreds as it slammed ashore overnight in Louisiana, not far from the Texas border.
Time to take cover, time to take cover.
The powerful storm packed sustained winds of 150 miles an hour.
There it goes.
Flipping over an RV and dumping over 10 inches of rain in some places. In Lake Charles, Louisiana, debris is scattered everywhere. Property damage is extensive. That's where Jeannie Adair rode out the storm.
I've never experienced one this intense. They say this is going to be the storm of a lifetime, and I can see that it's probably, that's an accurate statement for sure.
Forecasters predicted a massive, unsurvivable storm surge that could flood people as far as 40 miles inland. But early reports reveal it may not have been as bad as expected.
It's probably less than 10 feet right now, which is a good sign. But again, we're also hearing heavy wind damage to structures.
As Laura trucks north, inspectors here in Texas and Louisiana will head out to assess the damage. Hundreds of thousands have lost power.
Rescue teams are involved right now, making sure that they're restoring power, restoring and protecting lives, and we are already going to begin the rebuilding process.
Authorities caution the storm is still a threat. They say it could be days before power is fully restored and all the floodwater recedes. Courtney Zubowski, CBS News, Galveston, Texas.
Louisiana Governor John Bell Edwards says he received a report that a 14-year-old girl died when a tree fell on her home. There have been no other reports of deaths at this time, but the number is feared to rise as the recovery gets underway. We will continue to track Hurricane Laura as it moves north. Follow the forecast by downloading our Storm Team 7 app. It's free for Android and iPhone users. Just search WSPA in your app store. And join Storm Team 7's Jackie Brown and anchor Gordon Dill tonight for another 7 News conversation on Facebook. They'll be discussing the latest on Hurricane Laura. Again, join Jackie and Gordon tonight at 8 on our WSPA Facebook page.